Hey guys, Dr. Vic here. And I want to first say thank you for choosing us. Thank you for choosing me as your chiropractor. It's really an honor to be able to help serve you. And I'm so excited. It's so hard for me to keep that in because I do get so excited when someone first starts the journey. And you kind of may know or have an expectation of what chiropractic may be, you may not, and it's just to see how it builds upon each other. It builds, and the more expression and the more better sleep you have, the more energy, the more focus, and how your life overall starts to expand, and you start to just feel more connected, and it's just an amazing experience. And the excitement I get is to see you go through that process, little at a time. And for us in America, we kind of think we want instant gratification. And when it comes to health, there's nothing instant about it. You just got to take your time. So today's video, what I wanted to quickly share with you is the word subluxation. What the heck is it? I know I talked briefly about it in your report, and I'm just going to dive a little bit more into it and what it means, and then explain even a deeper level of what really subluxation is. Sound good? Well, let's get rocking here. So subluxation really is and misalignment or fixation in the spine, that vertebra itself, that interrupts communication in the nervous system, or nerve interference, that is. And so when you think of nerve interference, when you think of a subluxation, what the visual I want you to get out of that is imagine yourself being on a cell phone. And you're talking to someone, and all of a sudden the information goes in and out, right? You're getting some of the message, you're not getting some of the message. Well, you look at the bars and they're not full max, right? They're only like 2 out of 5. And so you know the message may be a little bit interfered. There's a miscommunication. The information is not getting through. That's a subluxation. So what does that sound like if you didn't get that visualization is, I'm going to give you directions on how to get to my office, okay? And I'm going to do it, and we only have one shot at this, so I'm going to be on the phone with you, and I'm going to explain it. But here's the message you get. Hi, Mary. This is how you come to my office. You're going to make you're going to make 2 turns on two stop signs later. You're going to make a right. Then you're going to go down, and then you're going to make and when you get down to the corner, you're going to see tracks. And then from there, you're going to make a and I'm 2 storefronts from the corner. Looking forward to seeing you then. Are you going to get to the office? Probably not. You may have to do a lot of searching, a lot of energy wasting just to get the job done. And this is what a subluxation does to the body. The brain doesn't get that much information, right? You have this spine, which we call the communication highway. And it all this information goes up to the brain, and then the brain deciphers what it needs to do and how it needs to respond and so forth, and then it brings that information down and tells the body what to do. Pretty cool, right? We call this the safety pin model, just kind of slipped in and out. Now, what happens is when you have the subluxation, sometimes that information coming to the spine right in that vertebra area is distorted, right? You got low bars, a little disruption in the voice. And so when the information comes, the brain doesn't get it all. But see, the brain doesn't know the difference between 80% of information and 100. So when you have a decrease of information, that's when all of a sudden the brain has to respond based on whatever it is. And it's just going to have to do that. And so as it continually goes ahead and living life like that, you can see how there's multiple signals starting to do that because you're processing over 1 million times of stuff per second. And when you really look at that, it can start to, you can see the build-up process of, wow, a subluxation really causes a lot of things because it's accumulation, one after the other, one after the other. And it's kind of like, another way to look at this is like a project being done. And I always say there's steps to every project. You can't skip steps. You got to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on. Well, what happens is if you have one step that wasn't done correctly, everything else is not going to be done correctly. So wherever that subluxation is, when it starts, every step from there forth is not going to be done correctly. And so the project along the way is not at optimal level. It's just that more of what we call a survival because it's trying to do everything it can just to keep moving and keep creating with the limited amount of information that it has. So again, a subluxation, all it is just a misalignment into the vertebra in your spine that causes nerve interference or nerve miscommunication. Now I want to take this a little further. And this is one way is when I'm speaking, I usually explain subluxation in that form, and then I'll explain it in this form even deeper. And that is I take the word for what it is. So when you think of the word subluxation, it's subluxation. Okay? Sub means below. Lux means the light or life. Ation's a state of being or condition. So when someone has a subluxation, you're in a state of being or have a condition of less light or life that you can express upon the world. Now think about that for a second. That's your soul. We call it in chiropractic your innate intelligence. This thing that organizes everything, that runs on its own, this intelligence, right? It's inborn intelligence. And the thing about that is, when you are expressing less of that, you're expressing less of who you are, that uniqueness to the world. And when we think of light, I want you to think of health, vibrancy. And so when you have less light flowing through you, throughout your body, you have less health flowing throughout your body. That is what a subluxation does. And the thing is, when you have it, it decreases over time. Okay? It builds upon it. So where it first started to where a year later, it's going to be decreasing more light. So this is what a subluxation does. It's an adaptive process of what your body does to a stressful environment. That makes sense? If you have questions about this, please go ahead and ask. But I wanted you to really grasp the understanding of what a subluxation is, because it's the essence of why you came into my office. It's the essence that why I get adjusted regularly, is to make sure that I'm clearing out these subluxations so that my body and my brain can communicate better and so that it can adapt better to an environment. So I hope this was insightful, and get ready. We have some great new videos coming to you within the next few days or so. So I'm looking forward to chatting with you then. Until next time, be well, live well. The choice is yours.